I'm Mouse Jones. I'm Nat Watts from Flora.
And we are
Guys Next Door.
Speaking of which, going through issues. I was on Tahoe's podcast. I was on So Shameless. Listen, that was the first time I ever looked up and was like, "There's shit going on," and I didn't start it. I was like, "Look at this."
Oh my god!
Some shit happened.
Listen, we're not gonna listen.
Yeah. Don't make this about them.
You know what I mean?
Make this about us.
But Tahoe purged. Tahoe purged.
I did.
And
Which some people say was a horrible decision, but I feel like it wasn't.
Was that a?
I feel like it was
that
important.
was that a line? Was that a bar?
What happened?
Was that a bar? That was a bar right there.
I don't know what he said.
I don't know where. I just heard. I thought it was a bar.
What?
Was that a bar?
I don't know what he's talking about. What? I thought it was a great decision to do it for myself. I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, I just had to use the bathroom, y'all. But I missed it.
I don't know why. Look, I'm still lost.
Yeah,
I have no
Y'all
idea.
are telling me
What
things I
happened?
wasn't here for, wasn't
happened?
around for.
Moving on.
And can we move on to something I was there
right,
for?
right. So I was so I
It was a great decision.
Tahoe had to purge, and as we speak about on this podcast at all times, I'm 1,000% with any way somebody has to get their shit off of them.
Absolutely.
If somebody puts some shit on you, you got to get that shit off you. And in our conversations as men, as brothers, I realized that I might put some shit on him, and he had to get that shit off him. Same thing, right? We were here as men to discuss it. That may not happen for other people, but he got to get that off. The important part to me was how that affected him and his output and his work and how he had to wear that, right? And I've always find that interesting. And I know this sounds sick and sociopathic, but I find it very interesting how people deal with stress and trauma. Like I like to study that. I like to see, okay, well, because you did this and this happened over here, this happened. In talking to Tahoe, when he called me and even discussed the idea, I was like, I never heard what he said. I never heard no shit like that before. He was like, yo, I was addicted to weed. And I'm thinking like, yeah, every time I see him, like, he is smoking or whatever, but I never thought people could be addicted to weed. Like, Ryan works in the cannabis industry. We have friends. I didn't think weed was addictive. I
don't think it necessarily is. But I think if you have an addictive personality, anything that you can use anything as a crutch. Boom. And what happens is, you could ask my girl, it started out when I met her, I was just, I think I had a vape when it started out, a little vape smoke and shit like that. But as I started getting
Yo, first of all, you been working out. I don't know what's going on.
Son, this nigga's dangerous.
Yo, like
he's dangerous. No, but he's safe. Don't worry about it. He's safe. Like, the
this
dog
nigga
that
just
come
sitting there
across,
like
he don't
this.
bite nobody.
What's up with you, boy?
He don't bite people.
Like,
He don't bite.
Ready.
He
I'm
he
like,
bite.
yo.
He
I
bite.
see him slipping on. He like,
Yo, Ryan, you remember the Goofy movie? He built like Roxanne Dad.
All right, now don't throw shit at the nigga.
Huh?
if you antagonize him,
Nah,
ain't got
you
no
see,
control.
stop.
He has
lifting
no.
weights, bro.
The leash is not connected to nothing.
nigga said I have to. Anyway, back to what you were saying. My fault.
what was-
You're smoking.
Basically,
vapes. You
it
smoking
became something where I just started coming home. Nigga, I wasn't doing nothing without it, and it stopped my output. It.
Now, when you say it stopped your output, what do you mean? Because you didn't stop releasing episodes. You weren't.
No, I wasn't.
You didn't
I
stop
wasn't. I haven't
releasing
been allowed-
content.
I haven't been allowed.
unfunctional without it.
Mouse, you've seen me in the last 2-3 months. Do you?
Yeah,
am I
you're
the
in
same
a
person?
Clearest zone I've seen you in since like we met.
It's a completely different person.
Right.
So what happens is this, all right? And I don't know if people know me. I'm doing my podcast. I used to make videos. I started smoking to deal with little shit that was going on in my head. But now I don't want to do the videos because the smoke is in the air. Or my eyes is red. Or my eyes is low. Or my mind isn't connecting the way it's supposed to connect. My output, what I was saying, is different. So now I'm like, I'm going to wait till later. Later becomes tomorrow, but I'm still going through what I'm going through. I smoke again every morning, every night. So now my output is not the same. I'm not giving shit up. I'm on my podcast. I'm kind of looking at Traum and Dodge talk. And I'm just like, oh, word. That shit lasted
You're
for
the
like,
moderator instead of.
I wasn't doing nothing, bro. I became so tiny in who I really was that I was like non-existent. Ryan, how many, you smoke? How many blunts you smoke a day?
Quarantine picked up a lot.
Like
So
4.
maybe more than that. But I live in like a weed house where if I don't smoke, everybody's still smoking. So I'm a social smoker.
Yeah.
But I become more of like an individual smoker. But
Yeah.
when I come to New York, like when I'm at home, I don't
About
smoke.
2 packs of backwoods a day.
I don't smoke backwards. That's the thing.
And then it's backwoods.
Nah, I smoke leaf and paper, but so it's not as
Yeah,
bad. But
yeah.
I think I've been around it so much that. But I've also been in a place where you was at, where I felt like I was just waking up,
Smoking.
smoking, and I smoked my day away though. Like
Nigga,
you was
I've
probably
lost like 15 pounds.
you might have been at the studio at least. Like I was smoke.
I was here.
I wake up, but I mean, I was home too. But I would wake up, I would smoke, knowing that if I wake up at 8 a.m. and I smoke a blunt, I know I'm gonna fall asleep till at least 11:30 again.
There you go.
And then I wake up, eat, and I'll do it again. And I'll be like, by the time I look up, I'm getting out the bed at 7 p.m. and it's like
They gone.
the day's finished. It's like fuck it, go back to sleep.
They
But I got
gone.
hurt over quarantine. I was in a bike accident and I was in the bed for like 2 months. So at that point in time, it was like I can't move. That's what really put me in a slump. Like you can't move anyway. So smoke, you're not missing out on nothing.
That
You can't
happened to
walk.
me as well.
And then once that happened, after I could walk, it's just like, fuck it, I'm just smoking. Then my whole day be gone. And it was just, I wasn't addicted, but it was just a repetition of a habit. And
Nigga, it got to the point I'm fucking and smoking. Put it down. Fuck a little bit.
that shit
pick
good
up,
though.
smoke.
That's fire
Nah,
though.
It
That's
was
fire,
fun
though.
as shit.
That's fire though.
Couldn't eat without. I would only eat just so the hungries go away. And then smoke again. I wouldn't even be finishing my plate.
You even look healthier now.
Nigga, I'm in a whole different zone.
fire.
My mind is clicking
And,
crazy.
and
I
there's
forgot
nothing
who I
wrong with
was.
weed at all. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, but it wasn't even just weed because
But you was on Juuls. You was on those. That's nicotine. So that's a whole. That's a. All right. Now you can get addicted to that, but it leads it into
the vape.
yeah.
Okay.
Because that's nicotine. So it's like kind of a way of
Like
a
a
cigarette.
cigarette, yeah.
So you can get addicted to that. So which will lead to you to smoke more weed because in your mind you're like, I don't want to get caught up in this nicotine shit. So I'm gonna go smoke more weed. Which then it becomes a habit to smoke weed instead of nicotine. So you're not addicted to weed per se.
Yeah,
you're addicted to a
backwards.
high of something.
Right.
Now you said something. You said you forgot who you was. How does because this
Talk
ladies,
about it.
ladies. I know
Talk
y'all are
about it.
here. I know y'all are here, ladies.
Talk about it.
Let me preference this by saying this conversation you're gonna hear. It might do one or two things. It might give you some insight to the men in your life and maybe the way maybe some things you might want to address with them. Or maybe just, it might just give you some insight about like, wow, a man goes through this too. Right? Because there's something Tahoe just said that men often go through, men feel, never verbalize, and women, they never imagine. All right? So I just want to preference this, y'all. Fellas, 10% listeners that are fellas, this is for y'all. So Tahoe, you said you forgot who you were. Now, the reason I say this, not to be funny, you were 40 plus. At 40 plus, how do you forget who you are?
The power of your personality, you can dim your own light, bro. And how many people went through some shit in this pandemic and you forgot how good it felt to do some other shit? And then when the shit came back out and you went and did it, it was like, oh shit. Trump just DJ'd the other day.
Shout out to Trump. But I thought Trump was DJing the Black Lives Matter shit.
Okay, but that was what, 7 months ago?
Oh, okay. I thought it was a normal
was-
thing. I thought it was a regular thing.
Nah, he did that he did that last summer. He was going through his own shit and he DJ'd 2 days ago. And he said he forgot how therapeutic DJing is for him. Where it's a part of his life to be that way. For me, I forget. Now look, my personality is animation. My brand is animation. My brand is being able to connect thoughts and shit like that. You're high, you're low. How I'm gonna be animated? How I'm gonna be? I couldn't even really come up with videos no more. My mind wasn't clicking no more. My thoughts wasn't clicking no more. I'd be talking on my show and I'd be talking about some shit, and by the end of it, I'd be like, I forgot what I was saying.
That used to annoy me. As a friend and as a supporter, that would annoy me. Because I'm like, my nigga, come on.
I didn't even know
You
you
seen
were
it?
going.
So you
Yeah,
saying
and
it?
you would do it like every episode, but I'm like, I didn't know it was that. I thought that was just you being
I wasn't
you,
there
and
no
I'm
more.
like, come
I
on.
literally can say right now that I wasn't me for a year and change. Literally, a year and change. That, and Orlando said that.
So who
Orlando
were
told
you?
me like, yo, I was a very smaller part of myself. I mean, if you're a powerful motherfucker, you can still seem powerful to motherfuckers.
Not as powerful.
If you dim, you know what I mean? Even if you dim, you still stronger, right? So, but my full power came back. And all of a sudden I remembered who the fuck I am, son. My shit, I
We're gonna get to the end.
I'm all right.
I want to get to the end. It's a journey. I want to get to the end, but I wanted to kind of stay here in this moment for a minute because there's so much to go through, right? And there's so much. I said this to you on your show. I said this to you in person, so I don't mind saying it here. The reason me and Tahoe are as close as we are is because I only see myself in two people, right? I see myself in two people who I've been in close quarters with, right? My biological father, which is a terrible thing, right? Like the parts of me that I see in him, like he's a preacher, so obviously call and response, and being good at hosting and being able to lead a crowd, that probably comes from him. Being a great orator, that probably comes from him. But also my dad who raised me, he's a great speaker as well. But innately, inherently, those things that are in me probably come from him. But then there's the part of me that I don't like. There's the part of me where I'm actively fighting things, right? And I'm like, that got to come from him. I don't like that. Right, but I can see certain choices in my life, certain things where I'm like, I'm on the road to being this nigga.
You can't.
I don't like that. The only other man, grown man I met who I seen myself in, not, seen little parts here and we connected. I seen myself like, if I get, that's probably me. That's probably gonna be me when I get older. Was Tahoe. So for him to say, I didn't see myself. I want to know who you were for that year. What was these thoughts? What you were still having?
I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up potting. I wanted to give up trying to be my dreams. I was just doing things because I had invested so much time in it. I was kind of just showing up. I almost gave So Shameless to Dodge.
I remember.
You know what I mean? I was telling you. I was on the phone with you, and I was like, yo, I'm about to, and it's just too much. Orlando, I wasn't contributing to Hard as Soft no more. What I'm trying to say is this: you can literally be existing, and nobody, and because you fronting so well, nobody really understand what you're going through.